What's up, world? Yo, welcome to Alley Boy TV. What it do, y'all? Hey, welcome to Culture Review with your boy, Alley Boy. Before we get started, y'all make sure y'all find me on the socials at Alley Boy the DJ or DJ Alley Boy. Hey, got some cool topics we gonna discuss today. There's a lot going on in hip hop on the beef side. Like a lot of beef. Like, of course, the Kendrick and Drake. Drake and Rick Ross. Drake and Khaled. Drake versus everybody. But it's also been some shots back and forth between Snoop Dogg and Daz Dillinger. Now, for those who don't know, Daz is a part of Dog Pound. Daz and Snoop are actually cousins. Daz supposedly, did a lot of work on the Chronic and on the Doggy Style. Didn't get credit for it. Yeah, that Daz. Tupac and Daz combo. I think he produced like majority of the hits on the All Eyes on Me album by Tupac. Yeah, that Daz. So yeah, I just, want to go through some of the clips. We got some clips. Daz been talking shit. And we gonna check out the nostalgic beef documentary. I don't know if you was on the last stream, but streams prior, we watched Beef Volume 1 DVD, which had a lot of different beefs. Today we gonna kind of, talk about this West Coast shit for a minute. So let's start with a classic old beef that was around the time Dre and Eazy-E was beefing, from the split, from the breakup, and Eazy-E went on and had some more artists that he gathered, like BG Knockout, Dresta, Bone Thugs and Harmony. He had some shit he was working with too. So back in the day, supposedly, it ain't supposedly, it's a video on YouTube. It was a meetup at a golf course with some of Dre's folks, some of Eazy folks. I think it was Nate Dogg that was the main character in this. But we're going to go over to the clip. I don't want to give up too much. So, y'all check this out.
That's the dude you need to get away. Or you got to school him quick because he don't know no better.
In 1995, a crew from Eazy-E's Ruthless Records visited the Dog Pound on the set of a music video. The Dog Pound, because of their allegiance to Death Row Records, were drawn into Dr. Dre's ongoing beef with Eazy-E.
Actually, Eazy-E boys, they was just, me and Ricky Harris was riding around, in a little go-kart thing, getting ready to shoot a scene. And they just walked up on me like, fuck the Dog Pound, you know what I mean? And my response was like, I'm not, it's about 100 people around there, and one of them went behind me. So I'm like, well, either I swing now, or else I just get swung on, so. But Eazy-E, rest in peace. I don't know how much he had to do with influencing them to talk about us. But they was down with him and we was down with Dre, so they was trying to do their diss thing.
Yo, Nate Dogg crazy. Then hit this man with a whole golf club, then gonna run off. Let's see.
And we not trying to be no hoodlums. We out here trying to make money because I know that day I felt real bad about what it looked real silly.
Man, I love this game.
So yeah, let me see if I can go back a little bit. That's some crazy shit right there. Let's run it back.
Records visited the Dog Pound on the set of a music video. The Dog Pound, because of their allegiance to Death Row Records, were drawn into Dr. Dre's ongoing beef with Eazy-E.
Actually, Eazy-E boys, they was just, I mean, me and Ricky Harris was riding around, you know, on a little go-kart thing, getting ready to shoot a scene.
This nigga said Eazy-E boys.
And they just walked up on me like, fuck the Dog Pound, you know what I mean? And my response was like, I mean, I'm not, it's about 100 people around there, and one of them went behind me. So I'm like, well, either I swing now or else I just get swung on, so.
Hey, did y'all hear that shit? You could hear that shit. And he hit somebody's head. Dude didn't fall over nothing. Like, that shit is crazy.
But Eazy-E, rest in peace. I don't know how much he had to do with influencing them to talk about us. But they was down with him and we was down with Dre, so they was trying to do their diss thing.
So clearly, this white guy right there started pointing a gun.
And we not trying to be no.
Yeah, hold on.
Records were drawn into Dr.
And I know it's certain things you can.
About 100 people around there, and one of them went behind me. So I'm like, well, either I swing now or else I just get swung on, so.
That is some wild shit right there.
But Eazy-E, rest in peace. I don't know how much he had to do with influencing them to talk about us. But they was down with him and we was down with Dre, so they was trying to do their diss thing. And we not trying to be no hoodlums. We out here trying to make money because I know that day I felt real bad about what it looked real silly.
Man, I love this game.
All right, so that's some wild shit. So we seen it from Nate Dogg side point of view, but we gotta see it from we gotta see it from Dresta and BG's knockout point of view. So let me go to their part right quick. Give me a second. All right. So, as y'all can see here, they got a video on this shit. Let's watch it.
Compton City G's comes out, which was a big song, but Death Row is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you guys kind of have, since you guys are on this side, you guys now have, now maybe not personally, but because on what side you're on. I guess there was an altercation that happened on a golf course.
Yeah.
You actually got hit, right, with a golf club?
Yeah.
But by who?
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
Okay. How bad was that situation?
So right here, this is Dresta. This is BG Knockout. This is the guy that was on Real Motherfucking G's with Easy E on the diss to Dre them. When they diss Dre them, I might have to pull the video up too. So let's see what they talking about.
It was horrible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But where'd you get hit?
My head, my hand was broke. I actually blocked it. I actually was good at what I do, you know what I'm talking about? So
Right, but you broke
I
your
didn't
hand.
run. If you look at the footage, I didn't run from the golf club. I was giving Nate his chance. You got one swing, and you know what I mean? And I knew I could do that, and I blocked it, but it was so much force that I didn't anticipate to even to block it. Broke my hand, and when the tip of it hit me, I bust my head, but then the tip of it broke off of the club. See, all that ain't on the video.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? That's how much force, well, it could have probably killed me if I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how serious it was for me.
And you know, a lot of people consider Nate like the real gangster of that Death Row crew. He was like, you know, even though he was the quiet, smooth one,
That's crazy.
behind the
but that's
scenes,
sad,
people
yeah.
consider, you know,
Like, that's crazy as hell. I ain't gonna lie, like, real talk, Nate could have killed that dude. Like, that's wild. Like, that nigga instantly resorted. Well, he did say like he was outnumbered or whatever, I guess. So I don't know. Let me see what else they got to say.
people who knew.
He threw a little. He tried a little two-piece, little slow two-piece. So I give it to him. I can't be mad about it, man. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of things that went on around that time to where, like I say, if I talk about certain shit, it's gonna be an edited version, and it ain't gonna favor us. If I just talk about it like what you see is all. Nah, it was more a whole lot
There's
more
a whole
to
lot
it.
to it,
You know what I'm talking about? It's a whole lot more to it. You know what I mean? The way it all transpired, the way it shouldn't have transpired, a whole lot. You know what I mean?
I mean, outside that situation, were you guys running into each other?
Yeah.
Man, we
ran into him about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. We've had incidents where we've been ready to perform before, man, and then people that came into the dressing room and say, man, such and such them out there, man, they talking about if y'all was performing that Dog Pound Killer song and it's on, you know, we used to have a lot of little shit like that.
Oh, because you guys had Dog Pound Killers.
Yeah, we had a song, yeah. And we'd grab the microphones and we'd walk out in the crowd instead of going to the stage. We coming in the crowd performing.
Right.
Where y'all at?
It was the two of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the song Easy was supposed to be
Easy
on.
was supposed to be on that song the day he went to the hospital.
Part in the
day Easy went
movie,
to the hospital.
the part in the movie where he supposedly collapsed inside the studio.
Hey, y'all check that? These some of the people that was around him that was signed to him talking about he supposedly collapsed. They know some more shit. But anyway, shout out to the West Coast groups from the 90s, you know, because they roll with their side. That's one thing you can say. In the 90s, they was riding with their clique. I don't think it's too strong like that these days. Like, everybody, like, you know, more set on being individual minded. But, hey, big ups to this dude for, you know, overcoming that, because that whole situation could have went totally different. Like, he, you know, could have went to a hospital or something. Like, I wonder, did he, you know, I'm pretty sure he had stitches or something, because I don't know if there was a sound effect added to that video, but I was like, God damn. But, hey, I think this Vlad interview is like 6-7 years old, but it's good to see dude in his element still. Let's see what else they say.
That was actually,
We was
he
working
was in
on
the
that
studio
song.
working on that song with us.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it up real quick, because I
First verse is actually where Easy was supposed to start the song off. That's why it was his words from one of his old songs, you know what I mean?
How many bars E had?
8. I was doing 8 for E, 8 for me, and 8 for you. You know what I mean? We was just flipping 8s.
Oh, BG Crip said NRP, man.
Them Blue Devil outfits was hard. The Blue Devil outfits when we fought that night.
So you guys recorded that song and you would perform it. And
Yeah. And they loved it. People loved that
People
song,
loved
man.
it.
You know what? You know why a lot of people love that song? A lot of people in New York loved it because at the time the Dog Pound was into it with New York. They had the New York song where they were literally kicking over the buildings and stuff like that. So for us to have our little controversy going on with them, a lot of the East Coast people kind of embraced what we was doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of our stuff we just didn't have. We wasn't pushed in the right way because you know where I go.
yeah, well, like, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm
Think about that.
a
Think
real
about
hip hop
Yeah,
dude.
you
Like,
like back in the day. Like,
Think about
I ain't heard that shit either. So, was it hard? Like, pause. Like, was the song dope? Like, this is my first time hearing about this. Like the diss record that these guys had, but they wasn't as popular as the other guys. So I guess that's what it was.
that. And then when you listen to it, you're like, why the fuck haven't I heard it?
Yeah.
I used to watch your channel, man, back in the day too.
Yeah.
When you had the little videos and
yeah,
first guy.
man. Dre's, you discovered Bone Thugs and Harmony?
I can't say, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky, right? It wasn't like I basically discovered. They were already someone that heard them perform outside. But we were at this arena that you can't get into this arena without being able to, especially backstage, you know what I mean? So, and it was so locked down that security wouldn't even allow them to bring them backstage. Right. So they asked me to come Dre some rappers I didn't want you to come listen to, because this was basically the role I played in Ruthless and with Eazy-E at that moment. I was the guy that he sent the talent to, you know what I'm saying? So when I went outside to listen, I liked what I heard, and it was different, you know what I mean? And so I took them backstage with me to the dressing room, and I told Eazy, they just rap, I need you to listen to them, and from there, went from there.
And that became the biggest.
And I joked with him on the way in, man, when this shit happen, I take y'all in there, I need some points off this album, you know what I mean? The whole.
So this the guy that discovered Bone Thugs and Harmony. Well, told Easy, hey, you need to fuck with them. That's crazy. I didn't know that either.
Nah, it was real
Did
shit.
you get that?
You know what I mean? Because I believed, because I believed what I heard.
Did you get those points though?
I'm still talking about it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Nah,
Something need to be
hell
talked
nah,
about
he
today.
didn't get it.
I ain't got them points yet.
You ain't got the. And that became
even after that day. So bam, right? So this happened. This is '94, right? We get back to LA, and we toured like throughout the year periodically, right? And so every time we would come back, I would ask E like, "Hey, what's up with them Cleveland dudes?"
Yeah, he was
Like,
hiding them from us.
Bone, whatever their name is, like. So he would act like he didn't know for a minute, and then one day he was like, "Oh, they here."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What you mean they here?" He was like, "Yeah, I got them in a hotel over here."
On Western.
And we've been ever since that day. We never really separated. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and they became the biggest selling act on
Yeah,
Ruthless.
little dudes.
Hey, Easy was trying to keep that bag. Ain't this song? So I was just saying, like back in the 90s, they was riding for whoever they was with. But if you notice in most of these scripts, they was with Easy. Dre had Snoop. Suge still had, I think, Corrupt and whatnot. But seemed like all the CEOs was really like trying to get over on the artists, like, and they artists was definitely riding for them.
Taught me a lot of real quick, because I was big bro to everybody. I wanted to be, I was their big brother too when they got here. They taught me some shit like, where I come from, if you ain't had nothing, you gonna have to go out there in that corner and make some money and go fix it and get that shit yourself, you know what I mean? Where they came from, them niggas would change shirts with each other every day, so you wouldn't think that they had the same clothes on. You know what I mean?
But anyway, I feel like that wasn't, I seen, I gotta go. I think I seen BG knockout. Here we go. 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 This what I'm trying to see.
Oh, no.
So this is a video of just BG Knockout. It said this came out 10 years ago, so this was actually older than the video that got him and Dresta in it, which is his brother.
After Easy passed, did you continue to run into Suge?
No, I didn't see Suge nowhere after that.
That was it.
That I can remember. Oh, besides this, after he passed, because before he died, me and my brother ended up signing to Outburst Def Jam. Okay, because the guys who brought us to him, initially they had a subsidiary label that was through Ruthless. It was called Toenail Records, / Ruthless, and then whatever the distribution company was at the time. But we were stuck in contract to them. So I ended up going to the county jail for some tickets or whatever. When I got out, they approached me, saying that they want to help me get out, negotiate my release from this and signing me to their label. It was a subsidiary of Def Jam called, the same label Domino came out on.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so we were signed to them. And Easy started negotiating with them to get us back on Ruthless right before he passed away. We was actually going to sign directly to him, but he ended up passing. So anyway, because we was affiliated with Def Jam, Montel Williams or Montel Jordan, the singer, he was doing a song called Something for the Honeys or whatever. And they called us all to the video shoot. Warren G was on Def Jam at the time. So naturally Warren had Snoop come, Nate Dogg, all these people. This is the golf course incident.
So it was actually Montel Jordan's video shoot for his Something for the Honeys. Interesting. And it was a Def Jam thing where they invited the artists, so a lot of them came. Man, I know the 90s was lit. I know 90s hip-hop era, especially like that was the era of the labels. Like that was the era of hip-hop all in your face. But it's more popular now, but they did a lot of marketing and pushing that to the forefront. And just these stories from the 90s is, some lit, some crazy.
That was like our last run-in with anybody from Death Row. Suge wasn't there, but that was like our last run-in with them cats.
And what was the golf course incident?
The golf course incident, basically, when I got there, my brother wasn't there. We came in different cars, so he was coming from somewhere else. When I got there, I see I'm sitting on the balcony. It's a bar on the second story. We sitting on the balcony drinking. I see Snoop coming. So Snoop, he's smiling because me and Snoop already settled things. Like he was the only dude that I had the chance to talk to and kind of settle stuff with.
So you guys talked it out and worked it out?
Yeah, we kind of talked it out before. So he smiled. He was like, "What's up?" I was like, "What's happening?" But behind him, Warren G. I don't know if I think it was the Dub Shack, the Twins, and then Nate Dogg was like the last one in the crowd. So Nate Dogg, he was the only dude who had a problem with us.
Yeah, I heard Nate Dogg was like the most gangster one out of the crew.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So he was like Long Beach. I was like Nutty Block Crip. He was like Long Beach. I was like Nutty Block Crip, and he just kept on walking. I was like, whatever. I kept drinking my drink. So now I see my brother in the distance, like way down, on the golf course, like walking, looking for us. So I'm running down to go meet him, and they already went back around and went downstairs because they was on the golf carts just riding. Everybody high and drunk, so they down there clowning. So I'm going to meet my brother. Nate Dogg swooped on me. He swooped on me, but he ran over my foot. So I chased this golf cart. I'm like, I'm behind the golf cart chase. So he got out the golf cart and he was like, what's up? I'm like, nigga, why you run over my foot? He was like, you better get out. I just fired on him. Bam. And when I fired on him, I dropped him. But I heard all of his boys coming behind me, the Twins and all them, and I turned around and rushed one of them. And then my brother came over there, and then that's when you see all the madness happen. Like, they edited everything out that footage.
Dang. So, Nate Dogg was out there being hype, practically. Nate Dogg was out there looking to start some shit. He probably was already, you know, a little lit or whatever. That's crazy. Tried to run over that man foot or ran over that man foot or whatever. But Nate Dogg perspective, he made it seem like they said fuck Death Row or whatever. So he just was like, shit, I'm finna turn this bitch up there. Something was bound to happen. That's all it was. And clearly the ones from both sides that actually was gonna do some shit, them egos, they hit. But crazy situation, man.
But it was a big brawl.
It was a big brawl, yeah. It was just me and my brother and like probably about 15, 20 of them.
You guys got hurt?
Nah. Well, my brother got hit with a golf club, but other than that, nah.
So,
All right. He said it was 15, 20 Death Row niggas with just him and his brother. We seen the video. Nate was running. Low key, them other niggas was running in the video because why did they need to run if they went with them? But that's crazy. That's crazy. Ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody catch that. Them niggas had that many niggas running. Damn.
have you ever had a chance to work it out with the Dog Pound?
I did. After that, only with, it was a G homie from 6 O's named Roscoe. He lived kind of close by me and we ended up getting cool. And being Corrupt is from 60s or whatever. He kind of called a little meeting, but nobody showed up but Corrupt and Snoop. Bastin never come. Nate Dogg never came. So we kind of had that little, powwow or whatever, and everything was supposedly cool. And then after I ended up going to prison after. Making a song, and then when I got it.
Shout out to the OGC style. I've heard some good things. Seen some stuff in the press that was good comments about, bruh. Shout out to the West Coast, man. Y'all lit.
Out, I ended up meeting Daz. And everything is everything. All right, they ended up being all right. Like, especially Corrupt, man. Corrupt, I'm probably the closest with him. Yeah.
Did you see the Corrupt interview on Vlad TV?
Yeah, man.
Nah, that's a really dope story, though.
Yeah.
Came together. Because I remember when I interviewed
Man, that's crazy. Shout out to Corrupt. That was a little throwed off.
Like, and I don't even know who this other dude is. He from Long Beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was his take on it.
Okay.
You know, he gave a fuck, but he didn't really he won't do nothing. He really was, you know what I'm saying? So he feel like, okay, this is gonna diss me some non-gangster motherfuckers. Like, cause he looked at it from the perspective that
I had to bring it back. I realized I had the video on mute for a second.
You know, he was the gangster from Compton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he feel like, okay, and he was like, oh, I don't even know Snoop, basically. In his mind, he was like, I don't really know Snoop, so who the fuck is that? You know? So he really was like, who is these clowns really to him? Like, you know what I mean? He knew like, okay, I know Dre is a cool musical dude, but he not what he's saying.
Right.
He won't do nothing to me, basically, is what he's saying. Like, and I don't even know who this other dude is. He from Long Beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was his take on it.
Okay.
You know? He gave a fuck, but he didn't really give a fuck because Easy was like, I'm gonna get back at him.
Yeah, nobody like Snoop, you know. Snoop was the little young cat that, you know, Dre ended up riding with Dre or whatever. And, you know, like Snoop, we did all our research and homework on him, and nobody could vouch for him for all the stuff he was talking. You know what I'm saying? Like being a gangster from Long Beach and all this. Nobody.
I mean, I think in today's time we can tell that Snoop ain't trying to be on that gangster shit, but he definitely put that costume on.
Nobody knew this cat.
Well, I mean,
You
to
know,
be
so-
fair, no one really vouched for Ice Cube either with all the stuff that he
No,
said.
that's true. That's absolutely true.
Ice Cube didn't bang at all. And
He didn't.
You couldn't tell me that.
Vlad crazy, but this ain't what we want to hear, man. We feel like the 90s was the realest era, or is it just a lot happened in the 90s? I think that's just really what it is. It's just a lot happened in the 90s. But shit crazy.
When
Nah,
that
he
first
didn't.
album came
Ice
out.
Cube didn't bang.
Yeah.
Nah. Most of them cats didn't, man. Like most people who's yelling all the stuff.
I heard
today.
Easy and Ran were like the two criminals
Yeah.
out of NWA. Everyone else pretty much were
Yeah,
entertainers.
I mean, Yella really from Compton, but he didn't gang bang.
That's what
he
I'm
grew
saying.
up in the hood too, but he
Yeah,
didn't
but
bang.
he wasn't about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You could tell by his overall mannerisms
Yeah.
and everything else like that. So y'all finally worked it all out and everything.
Yeah,
else like
man.
that.
It's like, you know,
That's what's
you
up.
know, after Pac and Big died, it's like, is this what we really want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth, you know, dying over something over some damn music. Like, you know what I mean? Even though at that time for me it didn't matter, but now that I'm older, it's kind of like it's like a silly thing, you know.
So yeah, that was that. We ain't doing no free promo for Vlad like that. But hey, I'm glad the brothers was able to, you know, work past their differences. You know, there be a lot of crazy shit do go on in your youth. You know what I'm saying? You really be with the shit. When you get older, you be like, man, I'm about my peace now. Depend on the scenario though. But damn, like, you know what I'm saying? I could just watch like a whole scoop of just, they need to do a Death Row movie. Fuck it. Fuck all these individual movies. Tupac. I guess Snoop working on a biopic. We definitely want a Snoop biopic. We want a Dre biopic. Like, Ice Cube biopic. Like, do a biopic on all of them. But I need that Death Row series, like the Jackson 5 series back in the day. I need that Death Row series for real. So this is an old beef that happened years ago. Shit, in the 90s. So what, 30 years ago. So beefs have been prevalent for a long time in hip hop. Some would say it's a part of rap. Like, that shit come with rap. You know, some people be like, you know, a lot of that ain't needed. You know, I think verbal banter back and forth on wax can be okay, but I think too much of that, it kind of get whacked. Just shoot a diss track or two. Once it get to 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fuck all that. But I mean, we are black at the end of the day, majority of this culture, or at least like that's how everybody think. And you know, we can be a little sensitive at times. We do let words get to us, you know, depending on the moment, depending on who said it, depending on what it is, what the scenario is. It's factors to this shit. But not at the cost of people losing their life. Now, in this beef right here, I don't think nobody lost their life. Like this, we ain't talking about the Biggie and Tupac beef. This was Dre and Eazy-E's camp. You know, when that split happened, when Dre left Ruthless and all that, and you know, went to do his own thing. And like I said at the beginning, it's been some back and forth with Snoop and Daz. Basically, Daz say since Snoop bought Death Row, he feel like, you know, he should be able to get his royalties for everything like Snoop has or whatever. Or I guess the fact that Snoop has bought the label and they family or whatnot, he feel like he should get his shit back. Now, I don't know what specifically he talking about. You know, we don't know. I guess it's publishing. I know he didn't say it in a few interviews. I'm just not precise about it. So Dad's just been on a rant, dissing family and everything, and I'm gonna play some of Dad's shit, and I'm gonna play some of Snoop shit. Now the timelines are kind of off, but all this shit is kind of like within the latest months.
Oh yeah, Spank. Your performance was whack, nigga. They bullshit, man. Snoop should have never had your whack ass on stage, nigga. Take that hippie shit out of here. This is the gangster zone.
Now, I think that's from when Snoop did the LBC concert the other day. I had seen this yesterday, so I had to remember what page I seen it on, so I went back to it. And supposedly Snoop's son Spank, I know he released a video. I seen it on Instagram. He released a video, and he was responding to Daz, and basically was like, I don't understand where this coming from. You've always supported my music career. Quote, this is Snoop's son saying this. And when I mean by Snoop's son, I don't mean the younger one. I mean the oldest son. I think his name is Calvin. But Dad's been talking shit to him, and I noticed in the post, you can go to Snoop's son page and you can see the post if he still got it up. But even in the comments, Snoop wife jumped in the comments and said some shit to Daz, so Daz responded to her too.
Wake and bake, motherfuckers. Yeah. This goes out to the boss lady. You say I got 30 kids? Well, your husband got more kids than I got that you don't even know about. 2 kids from Gracie, 2 more kids overseas. You don't want that. Shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. Go worry about your household. You hear me? Boss lady.
So yeah, it's going up out here. It's going up. And what's crazy is Snoop had the LBC concert, and I seen that, you know, he brought out Lady of Rage, he brought out Corrupt, he brought out the East Siders, Trey D and Goldie Load. I think he brought out a artist from there. And who else came out? The Twins came out. You know, they used to be Warren G. They came out. But I didn't even see Warren G there. And I'm like, damn, what the hell going on with him and Warren G? And if, you know, you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Snoop did, I think they just opened up a new amphitheater in Long Beach. So Snoop was the first act. So they had a whole Snoop concert. And he brought out those acts, but I ain't see Warren G or Daz. But I actually seen a video from the same channel where Daz was talking about he was there. So let's see what he was talking about.
What's up, y'all? It's that nigga Daz. What's up? letting you know I was in the concert. I was in the back smoking, you know, doing what the fuck I do. Listening to y'all on stage and shit, peeping out me and the homies. Look, all y'all niggas was performing all my songs, all my hits. Half of y'all stage show was Dash Dillinger, nigga. G's and Hustlers, Serial Killer, Murder Was the Case, 2 of America's Most Wanted, and every other thing that they doing back there. Ain't No Fun, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your whole show is Dash Dillinger. I ain't tripping. It was a good night that night. I was smoked the fuck out, having a great time. In the back, niggas looking at me like, why you ain't on stage? Them niggas ain't giving me no money. All them niggas got crumbs. Everybody went home broke. Snoop walked away with all the money. Gave you niggas shake. He took all the buds and gave you niggas all the shake. Why you hating, Dad? I like hating niggas. I like hating them niggas that hate on me. You know what I'm saying? And all y'all niggas was rapping my shit. Like I said, I'm astronomical trash without Dad. Nigga. And I like smoking roaches too. You hear me?
Wow, West, boy. It's wild over there. Hey, hold on. I do gotta play the clip from Snoop because Snoop responded to some of this shit. It wasn't this week, or maybe he has responded this week, but I know I seen Snoop send him a post before. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. Damn, so we got some shit popping up. We got some shit popping up here when I type that in. So we finna play through them. See what type of time they on. It's a lot going on.
Your shit. Daz, you got a whole lot of niggas that want to use your shit, so whenever they come my way, I'm gonna send them your way. I know you and Tupac Estate, y'all got a great relationship. Cordell do too with him, so that's just some old free money. These young niggas gonna keep taking that old music.
Okay, that ain't the clip I was talking about. Let me see. I'm not sure.
It's some people in your life that, hey, ain't no rekindling. Ain't no rekindling. This shit is over. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You, nigga. You.
Them niggas will never be Daz Dillinger. He high as a motherfucker right now, look. Nigga ain't stopped smoking no weed. Look at this shit. That shit sounds like shit.
Okay. That video didn't even play nothing that we thought was gonna get played. Hold on, I need the what the video is, Snoop, like. Is this it? Let me see.
I see you ain't got shit to do but hate on me, huh? In a minute, I'm gonna you up, cuz, on some real not physically, but business-wise. Cause you broke as a right now, so I'm gonna you up in a minute, cuz. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Comment your...
Yo. It's up. Now, I don't know. I don't know if Snoop really owe him, or I guess Snoop don't owe him, but Death Row owe him. You know what I'm saying? And Dad said he just trying to collect on his coins. Can't be mad at the man. You know what I'm saying? But I hope him and Snoop work this shit out. this episode has just been about beef, because we're not highlighting beef. We're highlighting the fact that it's such a component in the black community to beef with each other, to be on some hating shit, to not like each other. Like, it's crazy, like, how, like, black folks really don't fuck with each other. I mean, I walk by some black folks, know or don't know, and sometimes, like, they walk by you like you ain't black. And then, but I know we still deal with so much from other races and shit, so I know it's just a lot on our plate or whatnot. But still got major love for my people. This beef shit been crazy. I'm gonna end these last few minutes with some of the beef DVD. I'm gonna play some of it. I think this is the Beef 2 DVD. Yeah. Man, these used to be them things, man. And if you don't know nothing about it, man, go tap in with them. Beef 1, 2, and 3, and it might be a 4, but they going, man. It's just talking about all the hip-hop beefs. Like, not just the guys either, but the women too, the female rap beefs. And it stems all the way back from, like, day one of hip-hop. Great selection of documentaries to, check out for sure. But I'm going to play y'all a little bit of this. We're going to end it on this note. I appreciate y'all checking out Culture Review with Alley Boy. Make sure y'all follow me on all the socials. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out my other YouTube channel too as well. Hey, I got some music on that other one for y'all. Hey, I got some mixes coming up soon. Be on the lookout for one this weekend. I'm doing a live mix probably sometime coming up. I don't know exactly. I don't want to, steer y'all wrong. But y'all stay up, man. Hey, do me a favor. Help support my journey, my media journey. And I just ask for $1. Send me $1, Cash App, DJ Alley Boy. $ DJ Alley Boy. Be gladly appreciated. And we document everything so y'all will get to see the growth of all of this and me in the future. Hey, y'all stay up. It's Culture Review.
And ignored the possible consequences of displeasing an artist from the streets.
So there was a knock on the glass door, and I was reading a paper, and I looked up, and it was Ice Cube, and he had 3 of his homeboys with him, and they were, they had their trench coats on and weren't looking too happy. And I said, "What's up, Cube?" And I opened the door for him. There were no security procedures at the time. He just stared me down, walked past me, and his crew walked past and went then into the president's office.
Brian Turner and Mark Cerami were co-presidents of Priority Records. At that time, one of the biggest record companies and distributors in the business.
About 5 minutes later, I heard screaming and glass breaking.
There was something going on, so I jumped out of my desk. I got up, I ran out, and I get to my partner's door. It's closed, and I hear all this screaming going on.
Cube was standing over Brian with a baseball bat, and he had his 3 guys standing behind him. And Cube turned around and screamed at Mark and I to get the hell out of the office.
He said, "Mark, get out of here, man. I'm cool with you. Just please, just leave."
And this has nothing to do with us. And I was glad to hear that. And I took a step back.
And I said, "Cube, I can't do that, man. This is my partner. I have to stand here, and I have to make sure nothing happens here. If you're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. If you're not gonna fight, let's talk about this."
Cube smashed the TV and hit Brian's glass desk and screaming about he didn't have the money that Eazy-E had and why is Eazy paid and I'm not. He stormed out of the office and smashed his gold and platinum plaques on the wall in the lobby.
Squad cars all over the place, and they're all ready to bust everybody and everything. And Cube's a good guy. He's a damn good guy, and he's always been very, very good to Priority and very good to me. And people coming after us like crazy. And I said, hey, hang on. What are you people doing? "Oh, here is a problem with Cube, and we're taking him to jail." I said, "No, you're not. I said, there's nothing going on. And they finally got it in their mind and they left. They didn't like it. They wanted to bust somebody. So I said to Cube, Cube, I said, meet me in Marina Del Rey tomorrow. And I rented a 50-foot power boat, fishing boat. So we went out and we went fishing for about 4 hours. They made us lunch and then we listened to a bunch of Cube's new album and he said that there was a problem. He said he was owed money, this and that. And I said, then there is no problem. I said, it's taken care of. You'll get the money. And I got back to the office and I straightened it out immediately.
That was my introduction to the rap game because I, at the time, I guess I was 19 or 20. It was my first, 6 months or year at the company. So from there, it all made sense after that.
As the 90s progressed, business increasingly destroyed friendships and partnerships. Labels faced off against label, group against group, and friend against friend. Short for Eric and Parrish Making Dollars, EPMD exploded into hip-hop in the late 80s, with their first 2 albums, both going #1.
Eric Sermon's my friend from 8th grade, from around the way, building the 68 Camaro. Our life wasn't built on EPMD. Our life was built on friendship.
With a new deal at Def Jam, and their own management company to handle their proteges, EPMD released their 3rd album, Business as Usual.
After our 3rd album, it was break time, and I said, okay, we're already established. Let's really try to put them on now.
Eric and Parrish formed the Hit Squad, an all-star group designed to introduce up-and-coming artists Redman, K-Solo, and Das FX to the world.
At that moment, we control airwaves at that moment. You know what I'm saying? We're like, oh, the whole posse's on the countdown.
Hit Squad, Hit Squad, Hit Squad. One day Eric said, yo, I don't want to mess with the business. I just want to chill, so P, you handle that.
My whole thing was music. I wanted to rap, giving people what they wanted, the whole 9 and just be busy and chill with my boys, ride around the cars and just chill.
EPMD began work on their 4th album, Business, Never Personal.
In the middle of recording that album in the house we in, 4 gunmen broke into my home. I was coming home from doing something and I went to the 7-Eleven to get a box of Phillies. So if I ain't stop and go get those Phillies that day, I would have walked right into an ambush.
Several men entered the house and at gunpoint forced everyone inside to the ground. The gunmen began to search the house.
It was asking for me, where's P? I was so close to it that when I pulled up in my driveway, my man was tied up and I couldn't hear him because we had the system loud. And when I turned it down, I was like, yo, what? Then my alarm went off upstairs.
The gunman fled the scene.
And then I seen all these people running up the street. So I drove around a corner and I seen a blue car pull out. I get the plate number. So by the time I got back from following the guys to getting the plate number, the cops was already at my house. The first person who I'ma call when it went down, I call Eric. I said, E, you ain't gonna believe it.
Work continued on the Hit Squad and the Business Never Personal LP. For months, nothing came of the break-in.
August 25th, 1992, my man said, yo, we gotta go down to the precinct. This is 2 weeks before we about to go on the Hit Squad tour. So he's like, yo, you ain't gonna like what you're gonna hear. So I'm like, I'm running with the energy and I'm not really conscious. You know how sometimes you think you're ready for something and whatever. So we drive down there to the precinct, Detective Flom at the 3rd precinct in Brentwood, Long Island, 5th Avenue. His first words to me was like, hey, Parrish, is your group breaking up? And I was like, what do you mean? He says, because we caught the guys who broke in your house and they signed a statement saying that your partner, Eric Sermon, paid him $5,000 to break in your house.
We interviewed the witnesses, we canvassed the neighbors to see what they saw, if anything at all. And I had the plate number that Parrish gave me. And that came back to one of the defendants who had a Jersey address at the time. We made several trips into Jersey. We couldn't locate him there. We finally spoke to his mother, and she supplied us with pictures of him and 4 of his friends. Those pictures were shown to the 2 victims, and they subsequently ID'd 2 of the individuals that were involved.
I didn't believe it, because at that time, with all this stuff going on with EPMD, anybody in their right mind know they couldn't come and tell me anything foul about Eric.
3 albums, #1s in a row. I had everything sold up. Our own producers, no money goes to nowhere. The fame was this high. Eric Sermon, he gotta have about $2 million at home.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that I ripped Eric off and EPMD broke up because of money.
My whole vision was blind. Got frightened by the numbers.
It was a lot of money, being made, and, ends wasn't being cut the right way.
Got frightened by contracts.
I'd be looking at niggas on the TV running off with the mouth and all this other bullshit about P jerking niggas or, P did this or P took that, fuck that.
Got frightened by words, different phrases. You ever see a contract?
P would have said, fuck all these niggas. P had his loot. Niggas wouldn't have gold albums. There wouldn't be no platinum albums. There wouldn't have been no world tour. There wouldn't have been no Hit Squad mark.
When he was controlling things, he wasn't teaching none of us what's going on. Market, savings, CDs, tax bracket, tax account, accounting, contract, what do you own? Just breaking stuff down. Couldn't answer one question.
There's not too much to argue about when it's a 50-50 split music-wise. The 50-50 split publisher-wise. It's a 50-50 split show-wise.
But there's so much stuff in the back of that. Man got you messed
While
up.
Parrish Smith maintained that the EPMD business was a 50-50 split, Eric Sermon was concerned about the revenue from the group's proteges, where the split wasn't even.
Now, what I chose to do with K Solo, who I knew since 13, and through my relationship through Sylvia Rome, that's a whole different ballgame. Now, what I chose to do with Schumann Management, which was active since 1990 when Solo first came out, that's on me.
Parrish Smith also took a larger share of the Das EFX monies, on the grounds that he was handling the business.
Niggas was young. The pressure on them niggas was crazy. You heard? Leo and them niggas calling niggas every day, yo, this and that. Hit Squad was moving. Pressure was on.
And what makes that even more iller, in the middle of the Hit Squad blowing up, when Das EFX sat on top of the charts for 6 weeks straight at #1 with Dead Serious, RCA Records called me with a multi-million-dollar deal. My biggest concern in life was making sure wherever I went, Eric came.
You have partnerships that bust up all the time. Usually it's over money. But they usually don't send people to their partner's house with guns and duct tape and do business that way.
Parrish Smith decided not to press charges.
Well, yo, if y'all start questioning this now while we selling all these records when we got all this light, there's no way we're gonna be on a tour and then the rest of these guys who have nothing to do with it's gonna get screwed. Then you wouldn't have never seen the Hit Squad, you wouldn't have seen Das EFX, and you wouldn't have seen Redman. So I was like, let us take care of the tour, and I'm convinced when we get home we'll be able to settle it.
Parrish Smith proceeded to go on tour with a business and creative partner who had put him in a potentially life-threatening situation.
I'm not saying that was a hit, but if something went wrong and these guys were armed, Parrish could have wound up being dead, being killed.
Want me to tell you how more wild it is? The guy who was responsible, who was actually in my house with the hoodie on, was on the same tour bus with us.
Eric must have gotten wind of what was happening. He got an attorney, and he left New York State and went to Georgia. And if he had not fled New York and did not retain an attorney, he probably would have been arrested. And he was never charged. And that in itself is kind of disappointing because I wanted to get Eric.
The conflict also split up the Hit Squad.
Whoever ran with Parrish ran with Parrish. Whoever ran with E ran with E.
Redman is down. We're finishing up Redman's album right now.
I came in with E, so that's who I'm going out with, you know what I mean?
Parrish Smith kept the name The Hit Squad, while Eric Sermon created The Def Squad.
Just remember the Def Squad force. Redman, Eric Sermon, and Keith Murray. Word up.
While Eric and Parrish embarked on solo careers, neither was as successful on his own as he had been in EPMD. The business of hip-hop had come between two childhood friends and had nearly taken lives.
For him and I have to conversate with that in the same tongue as music, it's like, you know what I mean? This problem didn't happen in the vocal booth. This problem didn't happen when we was producing and writing rhymes. This is something that had nothing to do with EPMD, that was something from the outside.
Amazingly, as a testament to the friendship they'd had and the music they'd created, Eric and Parrish got back together in 1996 for the aptly titled Back in Business.
He's my man. To the world, my relationship with Eric is Eric and Parrish making dollars. And the rap and the microphone and the fishing hat. And that's what life is about, you know? Living, learning, and moving on. Not carrying luggage or keeping dark stuff on your heart.
But business was poisoning the community.